World Bank's report on agriculture. Inaugural Motu Koita Music Festival. And Kramer Auscenco brothers claim the 2019 Pacific Industries Cup in the Capital Rugby Union competition.
This is the National MTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Sunday's news. 7 days extension has been granted to allow all 6,369 wards nationwide to complete their elections by Friday, 2nd August. Electoral Commissioner Patilius Gamato announced on Friday following approval of the extension by the Minister for Intergovernment Relations, Pila Niningi. Mr. Gamato said that the extension was expected as only 30% of the results have been received by his office at the headquarters in Port Moresby. Gamato said outstanding payments from past elections have also been an issue with officials engaged. Also with some violence in Jiwaka and Enga has also delayed polling and counting in the two provinces. Only Manus province has completed its LLG election and has returned the wreaths on Friday, 26 July 2019. Hela, Western Highlands and Southern Highlands are still continuing with their counting and are expected to declare final results. Polling and counting are still continuing in West Sepik, East Sepik, Medang, Morbe, Northern Milne Bay, Central, Gulf, Western, East New Britain and West New Britain, New Ireland, Enga, Jiwaka, Chimbu and Eastern Highlands. The recent PNG economy update presented by World Bank has revealed some very interesting facts about the country's agriculture sector. It revealed that the agriculture sector contributes to over 17% of the country's GDP, and it is a key economic driver for the country. World Bank senior agriculture specialist Alan Oliver said there must be improved public-private partnership to help develop the sector.
The PNG economy update was presented in two parts. The second part of the report was presented by World Bank senior agriculture specialist Alan Tobalbal Oliver, which focuses on the agriculture sector. Mr. Oliver said an estimated 87% of the country's population lives in rural villages and depends entirely on agriculture.
Basically depends on very much subsistence, but also there is opportunities for cash income where farming communities have been involved in. Much of our population, where they cannot get their produce to the market, basically lose that on the way.
According to Mr. Oliver, agriculture contributes to over 17% of GDP, which comes mainly from palm oil, cocoa, coffee and copra. However, there are some issues that affect their productivity. The report revealed that law and order problems, access to markets and climate change are some of the many issues that affect smallholder farmers in the country.
Production and productivity, much of our crop and productivity are very much lower than their actual potential genetically they can provide. Lack of access to financial services, lack of extension services, market access and marketing services, and of course impacts of climate change, pests and diseases.
According to the report, the agriculture sector can be a key economic driver for the country if managed well. And to boost the agriculture sector, it needs strong policies in place and good public-private partnership.
There needs to be greater institutional coordination and of course capacity. There needs to be coordination between government agencies, non-government organizations, the private sector. Building those partnerships are vital because, as we know, the extension service, government extension service, have actually collapsed. This is where the private sector can come in to actually address some of those services to farmers.
The World Bank report on agriculture stating important statistics as the Marapa-Stephen government focuses on reforming the agriculture sector.
Government will place a very, very big focus on agriculture. You see, in my vice ministerial lineup, we've allocated 3 vice ministers for agriculture sector alone. And so we want to place a focus on agriculture. That is where almost 90% of our citizens in our population are. We need to convert them from subsistence agriculture into commercial agriculture. You talk about giving employment to our people, this is where people already engage in. And so government will be placing greater focus on agriculture.
Rayon Lakingu National, MTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape, during his state visit to Australia, spoke at the Lowy Institute. The Lowy Institute does policy-relevant research about international political, strategic and economic issues from an Australian perspective. Prime Minister Marape titled his address as A New Book for Papua New Guinea, his speech stating his government and young educated leaders' vision for PNG. Marape spoke on PNG's economic opportunities, harnessing the ICT development, developing infrastructure and the public service machinery. The Prime Minister also touching on the extractive industry agreement, stating that while his government will honour existing government agreements, his government will review current laws and policies. Residents in the nation's capital this morning would have been woken up with loud barks as the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or RSPCA, hosted its annual Dogs Day Out. Ella Beach was dotted with furry friends as they walked in commemoration of the forgotten animals of Papua New Guinea.
Big dogs, small dogs, fluffy dogs. These furry friends came out for a walk in honor of the forgotten animals of Papua New Guinea, their owners walking beside them, as other individuals also walked in support of the event.
Just to raise awareness for people about responsible dog ownership and pet ownership, and also it's wonderful to see everybody come out with their pets and have a fun morning.
This is RSPCA's 10th annual Paws Walk and a fundraising event for the charity organization. Practice manager Dr. Jessica Hoops told MTV News that some of the major illnesses that dogs face in the city are
a lack of vaccination, so things like parvovirus is probably one of the most common ones we see, which affects the stomach and intestines, so they get symptoms of that, and it's often fatal in puppies.
Origin fever, RSPCA dog adoption drive, meaning all dog and puppy adoptions are now at half price of 75 kina.
PCA rescues a whole lot of strays, and we train them up, and we're looking for people that might want to adopt them. So we have a number of dogs here today that are up for adoption.
Through adopting a dog or cat from RSPCA, you are saving a life. Lilian Sopera Kinea, National, MTV News.
Stay with us. After the break, we take a look at the Motu Koita Music Festival, a young filmmaker promoting PNG tourism, and the Toria Mask Festival. Details after the break. Welcome back. The 2019 inaugural Motu Koita Music Festival kick-started with performances from the Motu and Koitabu villages in the National Capital District. The event, hosted by the Motu Koita Assembly at Ella Beach, was witnessed by a huge number of crowds yesterday. The music festival aims at promoting Motu Koita culture and an extra event for the annual Hiri Moale Festival.
I, as our governor, privileged to be invited, I officially and formally opened the Motu Koita Music Festival. Let's have a great time, everyone. All the best.
It was a fine windy afternoon at Ella Beach as competitors got dressed up and got ready to perform. Contestants were from the Motu and Koitabu villages only. They competed to win cash prizes of 3,000 kina, 2,000 kina and 1,000 kina, and the overall winners will perform at the Hiri Moale Festival. The contestants were asked to choose an item from the following categories: Pero Veta, The choir group had 10 different contestants performing to win the judges' votes, and the string bands. The event was the first of its kind to be hosted by the Motu Koita Assembly with incredible support from partners and sponsors.
NCDC, on my part, we continue to support with 500,000, we continue to support. But the important thing for everyone, for all of us, is that we don't just acknowledge, we don't just, do symbolic things. Importantly, we must do all we can to empower our people to lift their quality of life, their standard of living, their future, our future.
The NCD governor says he wants to see the quality of living changed and also lift the standards of living for the Motu Koita villages.
My program until the next election is to modernize our villages, to improve it, especially where I have control and I have power, is to improve the infrastructure. We have started now and we will continue, and next year we will increase the budget to do what we can to support our villages so that you all too can share the same type of services and infrastructure in the planned part of the city.
Pakup says the Motu Koita people are respectful and peaceful people, so people coming into Port Moresby should show the same towards them.
Government must work with our leaders, business must work with our leaders, NGO too, church too, moving from just symbolic things, acknowledgement, saying we support Motu Koita people, saying this is your land, to actual substantive things that we can together move forward.
Michelle Stephen, National Emtv News.
A young filmmaker has produced a short promotional film to promote Papua New Guinea on the world tourism market. Micah Trussell has brought about the cutting edge of film promotion. It's new, it's creative, and an experience that will make you wanting more.
An experience that will take you places you've never imagined. 360 virtual reality. 20-year-old Micah Trussell was commissioned by the PNG Tourism Promotion Authority to produce a short film that provides 360 virtual reality images of the country. It was launched by TPA Chief Executive Officer Jerry Agus at the APEC House and witnessed by the tourism fraternity, friends, supporters, and family members. Mr. Agus described it as a very important project of TPA.
As you all know, nowadays, the ways of marketing and promoting a destination has changed big time. Every 6 months, people come up with new ideas, new creative ways of marketing and promoting a destination. And for us, as Papua New Guinea Tourism Promotion Authority, we look for new ways.
Micah Trussell grew up as a missionary kid in Ukarumpa in the Eastern Highlands. Currently studying at Liberty University in the USA, Trussell has always been passionate about creating films and photography. Since growing up in PNG, this is where he calls home. Trussell said he pitched the idea to the TPA last year, which was accepted.
We're hoping that this video gets millions of views online and that it'll just kind of help to change this negative image that the world has about Papua New Guinea. So we hope that here we can have people see this video and then want to come to PNG.
Mr. Agus says that the authority is looking for new creative ways to market and promote PNG. This is a new dawning to promote Papua New Guinea on the world tourism market. Lilian Sopera Kinea, National Emtv News.
The Tuara Mini Mask Festival was hosted recently in Kaipi district of the Gulf province. It was a 2-day event with tourists coming all the way from Europe.
12 tribes from 3 villages, Tuareg, Karama and Pukari, took part in a 2-day festival to showcase their masks. Each mask differed from the other and had its own legends from where they originated. The Toare mask from the Kaipi district in the Gulf province was researched and discovered by the National Cultural Commission. Since then, the first showcase of the mask was back in 2004 and 2005. This is apart from participating in the Melanesian cultural festivals. Due to lack of support from relevant authorities, the organizers couldn't stage their own mask festival.
Need to manage this mask festival as a proper one for the people to see and to know and promote our mask throughout other countries.
This year, through the support of the Tourism Ministry and PNG TPA, the festival received an assistance of 20,000 kina to showcase the masks. Supported by a French tour company, PNG Tribal Lands, they brought in French tourists to the festival. PNG Tourism Authority will promote this event to see more tourists to attend next year. Lilian Sopera Kinea, National, MTV News.
Nurses in Papua New Guinea will be able to receive treatment from private and specialist hospitals under a new insurance cover. PNG Nurses Association, in partnership with PHA Health Assurance Company, has made this cashless service possible. Michelle Stephen with the details.
The partnership with PHA began in April this year, and so far it has helped few nurses who are part of the insurance plan seek the medical assistance they need. PNG Nurses Association's National General Secretary Gibson Sionis says nurses are prone to cross-infections and lifestyle diseases. The association was looking for an insurance company that would provide the best service for nurses and believes they have finally found it.
Our partnership has started with 800 members on board, 857, and now it has gone up slightly over 1,000. And to help our nurses have access to treatment, PHA has promised us to deliver affordable and cashless card which our nurses can use in health facilities and private clinics across the country where PHA has signed agreement with. And this is an example of this card. We have already received 857 cards. We have distributed cards across PNG.
The cards are only for nurses who are part of PNG NA and are under government-run hospitals. He says nurses will now use their cards to receive some of the best treatments they deserve.
This card is very helpful. In most cases, in PNG context, we don't have money. But as long as you pay premium fortnightly, and you have this card given to you by PHA, you can use this card to access medical service. We see that this is a friendly service that has been made available to us through PHA.
Currently, there are 4,000 nurses who are members of the association and are covered under the insurance plan. Mr. Sione urged all nurses of PNG NA to be part of PHA because the insurance cover will be for nurses who are members of PHA only. PHA Health Assurance Company Chairman Raj Jutis says currently the nurses are covered for under the basic plan, which is at a total of 17,000 kina.
They present it at the hospital. All the data is over there. So they have what is the balance and everything. So it becomes, and together with the ID and their employer ID, they're able to access the. So our system is connected and networked with the hospitals. So we are able to ascertain that this is a valid member. What is their balance on their card? And so it's sort of like you're looking at like a bank card system where you have your balance in the card and you're accessing healthcare facilities, so you don't have to pay going forward.
Michelle Stephen, National MTV News.
You're at Sunday's News. We go for a break now, but when we return, featured in this Sunday's A Closer Look, we'll take a look at our Golden Girls from the Pacific Games. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. Papua New Guinea's performances at the 2019 Pacific Games highlighted to the nation the importance of its womenfolk, who, despite myriad challenges, brought back a staggering 29 gold medals in total. That's over double that of the men.
Samoa 2019 presented for Papua New Guinea the chance to really show its dominance as a power in sport in the Pacific. With a failing economy, rising debt levels, crime in some areas shocking, this was the opportunity to tell the rest of our island neighbors that PNG had much more to offer. And its contingent of athletes would be the ambassadors of a nation that for so long had had a darker pall cast over it. And sport was where PNG's true heroes had always united the nation. In 2015, riding that wave of home support, Papua New Guinea dominated in the track, the field, the pool, pitch, court and ring, raking in medal after medal. But gone were Ryan.
Has he got it? Yes, he has. He's got it. 23.10.
There was no Nelson, and none of our hunters were in the nines.
10 metres out, Papua New Guinea for dummy half. Too big, too strong. 3 tackles later, the try score.
The task inevitably made harder by the emergence of future stars, as yet untested. Tennis star Abigail Terra Pisa bore the nation's standard on opening night. A moment she spoke of with pride as she looked to retain gold from 2015.
Hi PNG, this is Abigail. We're only a couple of hours away from the opening ceremony and I'm really excited to lead Team PNG this evening. And we're also less than a day away from competing and we hope to give our best and we hope that you guys supporting from home and wherever in the world you are.
Dominating in the courts and eventually facing off against her niece in a 2-set victory.
After such an exhausting 2 weeks, I think I'm going to take a week or two off just to recover and rest a little bit and see my family and my friends. But I think I'm going to get back on tour again in 3 weeks, I'd say, probably starting off in Asia first and then America.
Weightlifting's Lika Toa remains a shining light. Coming back out of retirement, she bore her weight of expectancy in an almost serene fashion. Toa lifted an amazing 175 kilograms, winning gold in the snatch and clean and jerk.
I'm feeling great at the moment because I've won the 3 medals and I'm so excited for Papua New Guinea because we've worked so hard for it. And now that we've got the 3 golds, I'm really happy and I'm sure there will be more coming with Team PNG, especially in weightlifting.
Powerlifting flew under the radar. Linda Paulsen, Oceania champion, Commonwealth champion, world champion, inspired her own crop to a 5 gold haul.
Me have a master soul because the first week we been step number 6. Na time me play with kisim gold me sabe also by me medal tali play me ko antap so me have a master lo. Me play kisim gold but ikat support ikam lo nar plus sport lo wakim na yumi capable seme.
Women's football had no national competition and hadn't had one in over a 2-year period. That a handful of women could be selected with no domestic league, no international fixtures in the lead-up, yet go undefeated with a combined 23 goals, conceding 5. Prior to their departure, co-captain Lucy Minor had been excited at the prospect of adding more to PNG's growing souvenir collection.
So it's super exciting. Like you said, I'm back reunited with some of my teammates and of course a lot of new girls. So it's been exciting, a lot of new talent in the team. So that's exciting to see how we're going to come together as a unit.
Fast forward a month, and she was joined by the Football Queen's longest-serving player and now multiple Pacific Games gold medalist, Deslin Sinio.
In PNG, in terms of women's football, there's a lot of potential, and I think one of the biggest challenges is to identify those potentials and develop those skills. Because I know that PNG women's we can go for the 6th gold medal in Solomon in the next 4 years. So
being able to allow that to flow because we all had one common goal, and that kept us united, kept us focused. It was honestly really refreshing, and just to see women's soccer continue to grow and develop in different levels.
While that result may, however, been underpinned by their ranking as favorites prior to the games, it was an additional inspiration when the day before, the women's touch team equaled its men's result by winning gold on a muddy Samoan field. And a surprise in boxing from a girl who pulled out of school to focus on training.
Oh, I felt so excited, and I'm speechless.
I know. Okay.
I'm happy I made my country proud and my family and friends.
And this was your first Pacific Games?
Yeah, this is my first Pacific Games, and I'm looking forward to take part in another game.
New Caledonia, after just day one, were already leading the medal count. No surprises there. Out of 15 previous games, they'd only lost it 3 times. They ruled the pool, racing away to an unassailable lead before half of PNG's contingent arrived in Apia. But while New Caledonia had their swimmers, Papua New Guinea had their track stars. And it was the track where PNG women shone, collecting 28 medals. 11 of those are shiny yellow.
Girl, fantastic run the other night.
The 5,000.
In the 5,000.
What was going in my head was I have to run better time because I know that there was nobody at my back, but I have to race myself to improve on my timing. So I ran my best time that day too, so I was happy. Yeah.
Like me, stop well family for like 2.5 years now. Lo me winning sa triple medal, na lo go back Laos, na celebrate on temole, me just feeling some big achievement lo me.
Sharon Tuako, Annie Topal, Reli Kaputin, Donna Cornel, Leonie Bell, Isila Apkop, Porga Hakave leading the 1-2-3, and Toya Whistle in the 100, 200, and 400 meter races. Toya's feat an unimaginable 3x3, a record that, despite the advances of the rest of the Pacific, will take a long time to break. And all of this, despite her own personal battles.
I think her mental welfare and her welfare in general wasn't considered at the time. These elite athletes, they push themselves to the limit. At some point they need mental support, and no one saw it like that at the time. So from then on she missed the Commonwealth Games, which would have been one of her preparational platforms, not only towards the Pacific Games but to the Olympics as well.
Our sevens women qualified, our men didn't. And while it was a bronze medal, their performance stated, if you can do it, we can too. Basketball was a disappointment, however. Cricket were hoping to pull one back over host Samoa, but lacking numbers and back-to-back matches under wet conditions didn't help their cause, eventually settling for silver. The silver medals were another aspect of comparative results with the men's, bearing in mind that roughly half of PNG's traveling contingent were women. 26 silver medals were picked up compared to the men's 31. Each one of PNG's gold medalist women was asked their thoughts on whether women in sport needed equal or more support. Their answers almost identical.
I think it's really important that women can sort of flourish in sport, so I think it's really important that we push for women in sport as well.
Me have a master law. Me like him athletes lokam training na training powerlifting because me look him also he got plenty medal you come to powerlifting, so me ask him supposed to say that Mary stop again come na training powerlifting. It's kind of hard, but it's like I need more people to run, so the competition will be high.
Women empowerment. I think that's important. Giving the women, a chance in life, and this is what women can achieve a lot of things.
Yeah, look, attention has always been not so equal, especially for women's and men's participation in sports. You'll see there's more attention given to men's participation, whether it be soccer, whether it be rugby league, or any other sport. But it's time. It's time to give credit where it's due and invest where you'll see a lot of returns. So
Coming up next, some sporting updates in Chukai Sports. Don't go away.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. Kramer Auscenco brothers claim the 2019 Pacific Industries Cup in the Capital Rugby Union competition. The brothers took home the cup 26 points to 12 after a dominant performance against the Harlequins.
The Capital Rugby Union hosted its grand final yesterday. It was the Kramer Auscenco brothers versus the Harlequins. The flags were out and the atmosphere was high. It was a great day for Rugby Union. Both teams had good support from the crowd. The match was strongly dominated by the brothers. The forwards led the way. Once the rucks were secured, the ball was spread out wide. The brothers scored first through winger Emil Latumahina for a 5-0 lead. The Harlequins, though, had to deal with their poor ball handling. Brothers were good with scramble defense, stopping the Harlequins' surge. Penalties causing the Harleys more distress. Brothers outside centre Eugene Tokovai making sure he nailed the penalty goal for an 8-0 lead. There was strict discipline on the field, with Luke Maloney from the Queensland Rugby Union there to officiate. Maloney giving out several yellow cards as discipline for players in both teams. Brothers kept their defense strong, forcing the Harleys to cause more mistakes. Eugene Tokovai nailing a penalty to get the brothers to a 11-0 lead. The Harleys' mishaps continued, with Tokovai scoring a converted try to take the brothers to an 18-0 lead. Nothing seemed to be working for the Harleys, with another penalty, Tokovai stretching the lead to 21-0 into half-time. The brothers continued their form into the second half, the brothers camping in the Harleys' half, forcing a try. Emil Latumahina diving over on the open side, taking the score to 26-0. The field was invaded by a fan who decided to get a selfie, but his moment was cut short by the organizers. The Harleys finally scored their first try through speedster Freddie Rover to trail 26 points to 7. The Harleys picking up the pace in their game very late and scoring the final try right on the buzzer. It was the brothers' fans that stormed into the field to celebrate the 26 points to 12 victory for a back-to-back premiership. The brothers lifting the Pacific Industries Cup as 2019 premiers, and they look to defend the premiership next season. Felix Sukina National, Emtv Sports.
Still on Rugby Union, Capital Rugby Union had the opportunity of having Luke Maloney from Queensland Rugby Union Referees Association, who refereed at the grand final match between the Harlequins and the brothers. Maloney says the level of rugby PNG displayed on the field was one of international standard and one that certainly has the potential to bring out some of PNG's best rugby union talents.
For the first time, Capital Rugby Union had the privilege of having a representative referee from Queensland Referees Association to help ref the grand final. Referee Luke Maloney says PNG has something special to showcase for the sport of rugby and that it is exciting times for rugby in PNG.
I'm very happy at what the competition level here in PNG is. It's getting up to that world standard, which is really exciting times. The structure seems to be put in place by Capital Rugby and the PNG Rugby Union, which is good. And it seems that the clubs are adopting that and the players are on the field as well. So I think it's an exciting time for rugby in PNG. I think we're looking here at a sleeping giant, and the other Pacific nations better look in their rearview mirror, because I honestly believe PNG Rugby is going to be a world beater soon.
Maloney says PNG can certainly learn a thing or two from Rugby Australia, in this case Queensland, to develop rugby in all levels from competition to administrative processes.
Absolutely, and I think in Australia we've had our rugby for a long time. It's a business for us, and I think that Australia can definitely play a role in developing and helping PNG grow their rugby, not just as referees, but referee coaches and administratively as well. It would be great to see some PNG referees and administrators and players also continue to come to Brisbane particularly. Maybe we can get some in the Queensland Reds team, hopefully.
Here in PNG for the first time, Maloney says PNG is very lucky to have a family atmosphere when it comes to rugby union and the crowds that follow rugby.
My last rugby trip was to Christchurch, so I'm very happy to be here. I didn't bring a jumper and I was very excited to not have to wear one, so it's fantastic. PNG is just a beautiful place. It's you know, you've got something very special here. The rugby atmosphere is exactly what rugby's supposed to be and what we always crave, that family atmosphere, and other sporting codes don't have what we have. We're very lucky, and PNG's doing it really well, so congratulations. Really, you're very lucky with what you've got here.
Godwin Eki, National Emtv Sports.
Trukai Sports continues with more after these messages. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. After 16 rounds of competition and the Kramer Auscenco brothers winning the CRU Pacific Industries Cup yesterday, Capital Rugby Union in Port Moresby are now looking forward for their players to feature for the Puk Puks and other provincial tournaments in the coming months.
The Capital Rugby Union season finally ended yesterday after 16 rounds of season proper and 3 weeks of intense finals. The Kramer Auscenco brothers took out the Pacific Industries Cup as the 2019 premiers, coming out victorious over Harlequins 26 points to 12. Exciting times are ahead for the Capital Rugby Union, with a number of international tournaments and provincial tournaments ahead for the competition. Corey Chen, president of Capital Rugby Union, is excited at the opportunity available for players of CRU to take part in the tournaments.
We have the National Provincial Championships. We have Oceania Cup coming back to PNG, so international rugby being played back in Port Moresby. So that's very good for our CRU comp because a lot of our players will have an opportunity to represent Papua New Guinea. Beyond that, we have the Oceania Qualifiers for sevens. So we've got a whole month of sevens coming up in September. So we'll have Brothers Sevens, we'll have CRU Sevens. So there's a lot installed in terms of sevens rugby as well.
Pacific Industries General Manager Ashley Chu is impressed with the level of rugby union played by the teams of CRU, and as a major sponsor is excited of the progress by the management of the competition.
It's really good to see the development that's happened under this management. You know, you could see today that the standard of the game, as Luke pointed out, PNG is going to be on the map soon. We have the raw talent. It's about, you know, developing those talents and ensuring that our players stay disciplined.
Pacific Industries will continue to support the growth of rugby union in Capital Rugby Union, but also on a wider scale moving forward. The introduction of referee Luke Maloney from Queensland Rugby Union was also good to help improve the officiating standard of Capital Rugby Union.
That was the most exciting part for me actually today. I know we've always known that PNG is a pool of talent, but having, you know, the way that these guys played, the ways that they responded to the refs, you know, yeah, they made some mistakes. There was some yellow cards given, but there was no, you know, no carry on.
Sukina National Emtv Sports.
Here in the nation's capital, Morata football competition played its round 10 matches today. The competition has a total of 48 teams and has 7 to 8 weeks remaining before the finals in September. Sports coordinator Kramer says the event has brought youths in the community and other parts of the city to play, socialize and keep away from illegal activities.
Since the start of the competition, it has seen a total of 48 teams, 20 in the women's division and 28 in the men's division. Games coordinator Corey Ray says teams have come from 8 and 9 Mile, Gerahu, East Boroko and from Morata.
Currently now at la Tupla division, points leader is Anabosem. STS girls, the girls division, STS one time 3-5 girls, only in pool one was the first and second. Blow man, blow men's division. I'm currently now staff leader in Mount Casino, one time 3-5 boys.
With 7 more weeks to go before the end of the competition and round 13 to begin in 3 weeks from now, it will see the elimination round where teams will challenge for the top 8 spot. He says one of the main aim of the competition is to get youths in the area away from illegal activities.
Through this game, we play cutting down Sparkman, we play cutting all kind of crime activities now one. Through the sports, we play looking boys come again or losing activities so kind of smoking marijuana planty. No so start lauks now we can hete all come stop all mama two stop nothing na play cars now one now weekend. We look some like game come up ogoto lama mastru no come play stop.
In the meantime, while facility is a major challenge, Ray is urging those that have come forward to pledge to support the competition and fulfill their promise. He says they are still waiting for NCDC Sports Desk under NCD Governor Powes Pakop and local member John Kaupa. Godwin Eki, National Emtv Sports.
The Southern Region Football Club Championship qualifiers were held this weekend in Port Moresby. The event was hosted by National Capital District Public Servants Soccer Association.
The qualifiers saw top teams from different associations in the Southern Region gather to compete for a chance to qualify for the club championships later in the year. 6 men's teams are vying for an opportunity to represent the Southern Region in the championships.
We have 6 men's team and we have 4 women's team. Then in the last minute, Uni withdrew from some other reason. We didn't know whether it was they knew that or not, but unlucky for them. For the women's, already done.
The club championships was a competition held in the past but later became stagnant in recent years, but was revived this year to give a chance for top teams in the country to compete.
This year they have introduced that in the 4 centers, which is the Southern, Northern, New Guinea Islands and Highlands. I believe Highlands and us, we just completed us. I believe Northern will be next weekend, this coming weekend. So it will be very interesting to see the 4 conferences, all the champions come together for the finals.
This has also helped to see top teams and players compete at a higher level.
So far so good. We have seen a lot of new players coming out, a part of the senior boys that not there. To me it's good for the country and love to see a lot of young kids coming up and now they're playing in this competition for other teams. So to me I'm excited with the competition and I think we need a lot of things that we can work on, especially with development of our youths around the country.
There will only be one winner in the Southern Region for both men and women.
Good to see the best out of the best in every MAs, because most of the time they just win and that's it, and there is nothing for them to look at as a bigger part of it. And having the club championship in all centers, our 4 conferences, is a good idea.
Elijah Levet, National Emtv Sports.
And that ends Shukai Sports. The weather update coming up next.
True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
A look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Fine weather, although cloudy in Port Moresby. Mostly fine in Daru and Popondetta. Cloudy with showers in Kramer and Alotau. In the Momase region, partly cloudy with rain drizzles in Ley and Wau. Rain partly cloudy with a shower or two in Medang, Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, cloudy with rain showers in Lorengau and Kavieng. Rain showers with possible thunderstorms in Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And in the Highlands region, partly cloudy with few showers, then morning fog in Mount Hagen City. Cloudy with a shower or two, then morning fog in Goroka and Kundiawa. And slight rain drizzles, then morning fog in Mendi and Wabeg. Forecast for small ships, there is a renewal strong gale wind warning for all coastal waters. Strong southeast winds of 34 to 48 knots are expected to continue for the next 24 hours, causing rough seas. Note all small crafts and boats are advised to take necessary precautions before and after going out to sea. There is also a renewal strong wind warning for all coastal waters. Strong southeast winds of 25 to 34 knots are expected to continue for the next 24 hours, causing rough seas. All small crafts and boats are advised to take necessary precautions before and after going out to sea.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
And that's been the news, sport and weather for Sunday the 28th of July 2019. From the entire MTV News team, pleasant viewing. Good night.